This is the AKES 500 watt e-scooter that's pretty much available to buy anywhere. You see it a lot online, you even see it in store. I've had it for a couple of months now and I thought it was a good time to go over some of the things that I like and I don't like about this scooter. All in all, I think this is a really good entry-level scooter. However, it does leave me wanting more in terms of speed and torque. I live in a very hilly area and this thing just does not cope particularly well with the hills. If I could spend my money over again, I would have saved for the 1000 watt dual motor. I wish I could offer a battery saving feature. I didn't know about that. We'll give that a tick. Yeah, I would love to give a comparison between the two models of this scooter, but I'm not made of money. So one of the things I don't like about this scooter is how quickly the battery degraded. Now, before buying this, you know, as you do, you get on YouTube and you start looking up all the videos on e-scooters, trying to figure out what will get you what. And there's one thing I really should have paid more attention to, and that is battery degradation. Anyone with experience with electric scooters will tell you, don't rely on the range you get when the scooters are brand new. Because the batteries tend to universally degrade rather quickly and they settle in, I guess. When this scooter was brand new, I took it on a ride that was just over 20 kilometers in eco mode, and I got back and the battery was still showing half full. So foolishly, a couple of months later, I decided to hit the rail trails and expecting to get this same range, and I ended up getting stuck about a quarter of the way back of the distance I had ridden. I was expecting to get at least 20 kilometers, being that previously I'd done that and still got half a battery, and I think I got maybe somewhere between 15 and 20. I was unable to, you know, map it properly because I didn't have my GPS running. I wasn't specifically doing a test run. I just thought I could do this trip between sections of the rail trail and make it back. Now, the reality is I got maybe, off the top of my head, maybe 15 kilometers, maybe closer to 20, but definitely not the range that I was getting when it was new. So that is something to consider when you first get an e-scooter. Don't learn to rely on that range. One of the other things I did like was this came shipped with a seat. Now, incidentally, on this last ride, the seat came off. Now, rather than blame the build quality of this scooter, I'm going to blame user error. Now, that's the little axle that the seat pivots on. Like so. And it lost its little locking bolt. Now, I reasonably expect to be able to fix that. I just need to find a bolt and maybe a washer to put back through there. But like I said, more than anything else, that's user error, because, you know, I'm not a lightweight and I do pretty much ride everywhere on the seat, and I put this seat post through its paces, which incidentally, that suspension seat post has held up really well under my weight. So although it's annoying not having a seat in the short term, it's plenty easy to ride this thing standing up, and it's basically what it's designed to do anyway. So the seat should be treated as optional. Having said that, if I'm riding around sitting on the seat, my butt's getting sore, it's a really easy thing to fold this seat around, turn it to the back of the scooter and it stays out of the way when I just want to stand up and scoot. So coming back to battery life, and again this is a con for the scooter. I don't know if this is very typical to e-scooters. This is my very first one. I had thought that if I ever ran out of battery, I could just kick scoot around on it just like you would a normal everyday scooter. Unfortunately, this is not the case, and I'm going to flip this scooter upside down and explain why that is. So one of the big problems I found with this scooter is the fact that it barely freewheels. Okay, this is the front wheel. There is a lot of resistance in that wheel. It's something I'd like to look at, seeing if there's anything I can grease up. But these are sealed bearings, so there's not a lot I can do about that anyway. Again, this is the rear wheel. And there is just too much resistance in that wheel. I feel like that's something that needs to be addressed. I feel like that you should be able to use a scooter with or without the power. It shouldn't be so difficult to scoot along if the battery does die. It's heavy. It is difficult to scoot along if for no other reason than the weight alone, which is why I think that's something they really need to address, is to make these things a little bit more versatile. For it's inevitable that you're going to run out of juice on these things one day, and you should still be able to get home without, you know, having to get off and walk. I mean, it's a scooter. You should be able to kick it. All in all, it's not a bad little scooter. Now, I paid $600 plus about $50 postage. I have noticed that the price of this model has gone up by as much as $60, which I just think that's price hiking, and these things aren't worth that kind of money. Not really. $600 was a stretch. I think $500 would have been a reasonable price for it, for what it is. But it is a lot of fun, and I wouldn't sell it off. I like riding it. I just wish that I could get up and down hills a little bit more easier, and I had a bit of range, a bit of extra range. But it does have the juice for me to give my 5-year-old some joy rides, you know, along the footpaths and around and about, which is, you know, that's cool. That's cool, and I like that. I won't prattle on about what I think about the capabilities because I just don't have that kind of experience. I think this is a good entry-level scooter. It's got decent build quality. The only things that have fallen off, like bolts coming out, are because I didn't tighten them properly. I don't think that a scooter like this is worth modifying, trying to get any more speed out of it. You are better spending that money on a better scooter to begin with. Because by the time you've bought batteries, controllers, ECUs, you may as well have started with a better scooter to begin with. And one day when I do have the money, that's something I'd like to look into. But as for this thing, I plug it in, I charge it, and it works every time. What more can you want?